Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of this F125 Wheel of Chaos career mode. It is the final episode here of this first season with Zuck Racing, and in the last episode we were in Qatar for the sprint and the Grand Prix itself. A weekend that, could have gone better. And the reason for that is, for one, I had a grid penalty in the sprint because of an engine issue. On the other hand, I also had a penalty that I initiated myself because I failed the challenge in Las Vegas. So we were starting at the back of the grid for both races, and just the way that track goes, it just doesn't work out to kind of going from last to first, unless we were extremely lucky, which we were not. So we ended up not getting any points all weekend. Although in the Grand Prix we did make some pretty good moves late in the race, so we were able to work our way up, but again, no points there. But before we make our way to the Yas Marina Circuit for the final race of the season, we had some big news. Obviously, Isaac Hadjar has been on our radar ever since he approached us wanting a contract, and this came in from the head manager guy of our team, basically saying that Aston Martin was interested in Isaac Hadjar. Of course, Fernando Alonso is retiring at the end of this season, so they're looking to fill the seat, and I had to act fast. Now, obviously, that's a lot of money towards a guy, Isaac Hadjar, but I feel like, you know what? Let's throw a look at him. Let's see what happens. So I sent in a contract offer. We'll see how it goes. He might accept Aston Martin because they're a more experienced, more well put together team, so he probably will go that route. But nonetheless, I decided to put an offer towards him. If he accepts it, that's fantastic. If he doesn't, it's not the worst thing in the world, but we'd like to have him for sure. And as we made our way to the Yas Marina Circuit, I also put some upgrades onto the car, just some minor ones, and I put them onto Dennis Hauger's car because he's the one we are driving with today for this final episode. But one thing to note, we are, yes, the worst team through research and development. But the key thing in this race is the Constructors' Championship. If you look at the teams there on that little chart, look where Ferrari is. Ferrari is so far down compared to McLaren, who is chasing after them. If McLaren put in a brilliant weekend this weekend, they can have the Constructors. If not, it will go to Ferrari. But McLaren is in a great spot to win this Constructors' Championship, and if that's the case, Ferrari, that'll be a massive downfall this season. And before we got to this point in time here of this video, I also sent a contract offer to Paul Aaron. Now, Paul Aaron has also been on our sites all season long. It is not a massive upgrade compared to the two guys we have, but it is definitely an upgrade. So even if we don't get Isaac Hadjar, we could sign one of the guys we have now, and it would be a bonus for sure. So I hope Paul Aaron accepts this deal. Obviously, what he's expecting from us is pretty big, but overall, I kind of just think because he has no team, he's kind of more highly likely to sign with us, so I'm sure he probably will. The only one is Isaac Hadjar. That's the only question mark, but if he doesn't, again, it's not the biggest deal in the end of the world, but it would be very nice, that's for sure. So ladies and gentlemen, for the last time this season, we are going to spin the Wheel of Chaos. Now, let me know what you think down below in the comments, whether if you'd like to see the wheel as is return, or would you rather see me add more stuff, or maybe make a whole brand new wheel, or add all the options back. Let me know down below. What I kind of think is we still have tons of options left here, so I might leave it as is and we'll just kind of go from there. But nonetheless, it is time to spin the wheel for the final time this season. Let's see what we get for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Must run maximum wing and front on front and rear. Oh boy, that is wow. That is going to be awful that's actually going to be bad on the two straights. Or no, is it opposite? I don't know. Yeah, that's definitely going to be bad on the straights, because it's basically like we're going to be running Monaco. Wow, okay. Well, that's going to be a struggle bus. Let's get to that qualifying. Okay, boys and girls, so here we are, the Yas Marina Circuit for our first qualifying lap. There's a couple things to tell you. Number one, we will have a grid penalty once again for this track. Another MGUH overload for Dennis Hauger. So sadly, we cannot get pole here this weekend. The next thing, you might have noticed our livery might look just a tad bit different. That is because we are running a special livery this weekend because Siren, I've been calling it Siren this entire time, but realizing that would be impossible because it's an E. Siren, who is our sponsor, this is our final race weekend with them. We are changing sponsors for the next season, so we will have a brand new title sponsor. So yeah, we're just putting on this special livery for them. I'll probably give you a little bit of a little show here as we move forward on this lap, but yeah, that's basically it for all the news and notes. Other than that, let's see how this lap kind of finishes out. So we have max rear and front wings for this weekend, basically like a Monaco setup. That was okay. 4th best. That is actually not bad. Still 4/10 down on that Hajar, who's 2nd, but overall, very, very good. All right, here we go. Not Q2. This time around, our second lap. Our first lap, obviously bad because I was on used tires. I also forgot to do one thing, which was change my controller back to what it was compared to the last episode. So I was on bad steering, or well, maybe just a little bit disabled steering, but it didn't matter too much. But hopefully now it's just a little bit better. But we have a long ways to go here if we want our shot into Q3, and we kind of need to if we want a good position to start this race. So we put up the best Sector 2 time. Will it be enough to get into Q3? Almost a whole second up on our previous time here. Will we be able to get it done and move on into Q3? That's the big question here. I think we got it. No, we didn't. Oh my goodness, no.
It's time then for one final race in this year's Formula One World Championship. 2010 saw 4 drivers in contention for the title coming into this race, with Sebastian Vettel prevailing to become the youngest world champion to date. Is there one last sting in the tail awaiting us today? Well, it's time to find out. Here at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. The Yas Marina Circuit is made up of 3.28 miles of track, featuring 16 corners with 2 very long straights. DRS zones going into the heavy braking zones of both Turn 5 and Turn 7 offer plenty of potential for overtaking. The circuit comes with its fair share of tricky corners, which will certainly test a driver's braking management. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Albon, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Colapinto, Hülkenberg, Piastri, Verstappen, and Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Bortoleto, Ollie Behrman, and Stroll, Fittipaldi, Hauger, Yuki Tsunoda, and Isaac Hadjar, Gasly, Lawson, Sainz, and Andrea Kimi Antonelli rounds off the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track. And alongside me today, a man who I'm always pleased to see join me in the commentary box, Anthony Davidson. Here we go then, Ant. Final race of the season. One more dance around the racetrack and plenty of opportunity to show out there that you've still got the quick step.
Yeah, a lot of races to cover these days in Formula One, Crofty, as you well know, doing them all yourself. But it's the same for the drivers. It comes at you thick and fast, and you've got to pace yourself as well to get to this point in the season. If it has gone your way, it's a great time to just enjoy it. There's nothing that can change in the championship pecking order, of course. If you've won the championship already, go out and enjoy this race and send yourself off through the winter break. If it's been a bit of a year to forget, you can try and take a bit of solace in this Grand Prix, end on a high and carry that energy into next season.
So here we go, ladies and gentlemen, to start the final race of this first season with Zuck Racing. We're in P16. Our teammate is in P15. We're on the hard compound tire. We are away here in Abu Dhabi. Now, one thing to note, as I don't run into my teammate, Ferrari has the upper hand right now as we already move into P14. having two drivers higher in the top 10 than the two McLarens. Obviously, Piastri down on a penalty, but McLaren down for right now. But let's see how this race goes on, and maybe we'll have something brewing here later on. And hopefully we get these harder tires going here later in the stint. Well, there's some wobbling going there around that chicane, and we're already up into P12. A good start for us. Now, one key thing, all right, with our wing setup for this race, we are not going to be good down this straight. So it's going to be really hard for us to deal with pulling away with some of the drivers. We're going to have to make up a lot of time in these you know, slower corners of the track. So we can get amongst it here with Alonso and Bortoleto battling. Whoa, as we hit the curve, as we fly on up, we'll have DRS. So will everyone. Can I win this drag race over Gabby Bortoleto? Yes, I will. Can I get by Fernando Alonso down the inside here? This is going to be tough. We will. We'll stick it. Wow, some excellent moves here by us, but maybe can we hold on? We're going to have to use a little bit of an extra battery. No, we're going to have to lose out to Fernando Alonso. Of course, he has the better wing setup than us. But judging by what's going on right now, if we can stay within these cars that are like jockeying, we are in good hands for right now. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now in trouble as I did not get DRS and Gabby Bortoleto will fly right on by me. So that was not good by us. We had trouble, especially out of the first couple of corners here. As Franco Colapinto and Alonso are battling, we will now have DRS, but so will everyone else once again. But look at our battery. It's really, really low. These first couple of laps, we got to maintain our battery. We have to watch out going forward here what's going to go on here. But we just got to stay with these guys for right now, as obviously the soft tire runners looks like they're struggling so far. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to try and go down the inside and squeeze Franco Colapinto. It works out in our favor because we're able to turn pretty well. He won't have DRS. We will. So we will be able to fly away from Franco Colapinto and Esteban Ocon right behind us there. Beautiful move by us. We are now into P11 as our search for the points continue on here in Abu Dhabi.
It looks like we might have an issue. Hang in there.
No, not in the last race of the season. Please, no. Please, no. I have all good parts, and DRS would suck too. No. And there's a yellow flag behind me. This could be awful. This could be awful. I think we had a spin. It's one of the Haas's. Who could it be? I don't know, but please just don't make me come out of this race 7 laps in. Come on. Final race of the year with our old, well, not our, or it's going to be our old sponsor, but with our sponsor.
We're looking at some imminent gearbox issues, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Watch out for jams and misgears.
Okay, we can live with that. We can live with a bad gearbox. Whoa, Gabby Bortoleto with a little bit of a spin. And I just realized I'm in 10th because someone came in and pit, so that's good. Okay, so we just have to watch out.
We're approaching the pit window, and you're
Okay.
on mediums.
Ladies and gentlemen, Yuki Tsunoda is trying to pass me around this corner here. I am actually really struggling with that gearbox issue. I don't know what the bad thing is about my gearbox right now, but I am really struggling. I've fallen behind by 2 seconds, and there goes Yuki Tsunoda around me. So I am having some issue here with my gearbox before we even come into pit for the first time. I'm going to, wow, jump way over that bollard. Jeez Louise, and Yuki Tsunoda is probably gone. But man, oh man, I am struggling here. Just trying to get to pit for the first time.
Don't forget, box this lap.
All right, sounds good. So we will come into box. I will remind them right there. George Russell passed me, but he's way out of our race right now. I'm not even going to try and race him. So we're going to go on to medium tires here. So hopefully we're able to catch up on a couple of the drivers that are around us. But man, this gearbox problem is really causing me problems right now, as I was losing time massively to Yuki Tsunoda. Hopefully that can maybe change here with the change of tires. Probably not, but you know, I could remain hopeful. Let's see what happens here as we come in to change our tires. Our team has been solid the last couple of races. Can we continue on the streak here?
There seems to have been a
And I spoke too soon. As if the problems could have just gone away. Also, thing to note here as we get going, McLaren is in a good spot right now because Lewis Hamilton dropped back from the start and Oscar Piastri was able to gain a lot of places. So McLaren, I don't know exactly, but they could be in a really good spot now for the Constructors' Championship. I can't confirm that, but I feel like just with the easy math, I feel like it kind of goes their way, especially with Lando Norris leading this race. But that's something to look out for a lot later. Oh, and we have a yellow flag. This could be an actual real stop. It is a Mercedes. Could that be George Russell who's pulled off the stop? It is. So George Russell is now out of this race for Mercedes. Oh, man. I mean, they're not in a fight for any reason whatsoever, but that just sucks to end your season like that. Oh, man. Tough for George. So, ladies and gentlemen, here on lap 15, if you want to know how bad our problem is, that's Kimi Antonelli, who started in last. He is now caught up to me. He is even pitted, so we're on the same amount of pit stops. He's also on, well, probably a better tire than mine currently, but he's also on the hard compound tire. I'm just on the struggle bus. I think the group there at the bottom of the map who have just been clumped together, I think, well, Gabby Bortoletto's in that group, considering he was with me earlier on in this race. They were about 10 plus seconds beyond where I was. So you have to think, I have lost 10 seconds in this race, and there goes Kimi Antonelli around me that way. Like, that's just incredible, man. Like, I don't know what's happening here. This car is just struggling here. It's probably also a mix of having no speed on the straights, but man, oh man. We're just losing so much time here around the Yas Marina Circuit. And one lap later, there goes Yuki Tsunoda once again, so he's now past me. So I guess with all those penalties, I mean, the better cars are definitely getting by. But man, like I said, whoa, why is he just braking like that? Like I said, the struggle bus, man, is very, very big right now. And ladies and gentlemen, now on our pit lap, Isaac Hadjar passes us. The guy who might be in this seat come next year gets by us. We are just, this is just flat racing, man. Like, if you've ever wanted to see the deadpan look on my face while I race, you definitely see it today. This is just ugly, 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 and embarrassing racing by myself. And not like just in a bad like way, like I'm being a bad driver. This is just, the car is just not functional at all this race. Mixed in with the gearbox issues and of course the wings as well. That would not help. The wings wouldn't be too different compared to what they are now, but they definitely would be. But man, oh man, it's just killed this race. I'm still in the points, so I'm not too like looking bad. I'm not like looking too bad right now, but it's just rough. Rough. And our pit crew has to nail this one once again. So we're going back onto the hard tires. Lando Norris is cruising away with this race. Unless something drastic happens, he is cruising away with it. We get the pit stop, and Isaac Hadjar had a bad stop, so we will now be ahead of him. Oh boy, can we hold on to this? That would be lovely. That would be lovely. And our pit stop will also get us ahead of Franco Colapinto. So that helps us out big time. But can our car hold on here? Ladies and gentlemen, Isaac Hadjar just did the exact same thing Kimi Antonelli did. And oh my god, this is just ugly. It's gotten to a point where Enzo Fittipaldi might catch me. My own teammate. When has there been a point this entire series where my teammate has passed me on merit? Like, usually I'm doing that. Like, what is happening here? It's just been such an awful race here ever since, I don't know, lap like 12. Or even before that, like lap 8. 7 it was. And ladies and gentlemen, here on lap 27, Liam Lawson, a guy who I've battled all season long, is probably going to out-drag me here. And I won't have DRS, he will. And wow. And Pierre Gasly's not far either, boys and girls. So, I mean, this could be very interesting, these last couple of laps, and very sad ones at that here at Zuck Racing.
Okay, mate, final lap. Keep your concentration and let's bring it home.
And as we cross the line to start our final lap, the race winner, Lando Norris, crosses the line to win the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Is that enough for the constructors? Of course, it looks like Max Verstappen will come home in second. Oscar Piastri will come home in third. Is that enough, though, to beat out on the Ferraris? As I made that turn way too wide. Ooh, I just chopped Pierre Gasly almost in half there. But this is it. This is the end of the season, boys and girls. Obviously, like I mentioned, I want to at least do one more season of this until the F1 26 DLC comes out. I'll explain that more in just a bit. But looking back on this season, I mean, coming in as a bottom seed team, you know, definitely was not expecting many highs. And there was not many, but we did end up winning a few races. We had some really good results in some places. But we were just really dragged back by our team's inability to get new parts on the car. And of course, you know, we had the pit stop troubles as well. And overall, it was definitely a season that I think we most likely to forget, would want to forget. But we did have some highs in there and some good positives for the future. And I'm really looking forward into what we can do next. But as we cross the line here in Abu Dhabi, this race is not a good one, and we wish we had better.
And here he comes. It's all go, go, go for Lando Norris as he takes the checkered flag and wins.
They've won the championship, and now they sign off in style as winning the last race of the season as well. Brilliant stuff by this driver today, and you carry that momentum through to next year as well, of course. So it's for all now to try and stop what they've created.
What a day it's been for Formula One, and what a day it's been for these three drivers. Time for the podium celebrations. Time for our drivers to celebrate.
So for the final race of this season, boys and girls, the best car on paper is the best car on the track. Lando Norris wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. We'll get to who wins the constructors in a moment. As I'm recording this, still do not know. I've not done the math. Maybe you have. But I'm going to go do a live reaction to it in just a moment while I finish up here. But we start where we finished. Started P16, ended P16. Definitely hurt, though, by our gearbox issue. If you wanted to know where we were, so when that gearbox issue happened, when it did, we were on lap 7 with Gabby Bortoletto right in front of us. Gabby Bortoletto finished in P11. His time is 25 seconds better than ours. Or, well, to where he finished. So he was 25 seconds ahead of us come the end of the race. That is how much time I lost throughout all of that. Now, he was in more battles than I was, kind of in that second and third stint, so he was a bit more crammed up, but there was definitely a shot today at, you know, getting points, and we missed out on it, and by 25 seconds plus, which is incredible considering we just had a minor gearbox issue and that's what led to it. But it's kind of hurtful to know that we had a shot at points and our car, classic, especially in this season, let us down. But yeah, so like I said, a race to definitely forget, which sucks because it was the last one and usually you want to go out strong. And just for a final Drivers' Championship standings board, here you go. Max Verstappen, we already knew he was the winner with 438 points. Lando Norris, the winner of today's race, comes in second, not far off. The two Ferraris then split. The two Ferraris are sandwiched in between the two McLarens. Charles Leclerc had the better season than Lewis Hamilton. and then Oscar Piastri comes out in 5th. When you come to our side of the table, Zuck Racing, Dennis Hauger finished 8th with 97 points. Enzo Fittipaldi finished 10th with 75. If you've been watching this series from start to finish, you know that Enzo Fittipaldi has been screwed, and even Dennis Hauger had been screwed many different times to get more points. So, in my opinion, Enzo Fittipaldi could possibly be within the top 10, not just 10, but sadly that's not the case for this series, and that's just how it goes in Formula One. But overall, for these two drivers, I'm very surprised with how they did. And like I mentioned, those couple race wins we had kind of really surprised me. They really shocked me. But for these two guys, I think they did great. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, I did that right away. That's my honest reaction of this. McLaren win the Constructors' Championship by 3 points. Ferrari, I believe, led the majority of the way. I think that's fair to say. I think a lot of people, like I said just a moment ago, if you've been watching, you've kind of known that Ferrari has kind of led the way the majority of the season, and McLaren just crept up within the last 5-6 episodes or so, and they win the Constructors by 3 points. Ferrari fans would be in shambles if they saw that. First of all, I believe they had the lead at some point of the Drivers' Championship. Well, one of them at some point they probably did. So you had a driver leading the driver's standings, lost out to Max Verstappen. I mean, he just went on a roll. It's hard to argue that. But you had a shot at the Constructors, and you just needed 3 points, 4 points even, and you don't get the job done. Ferrari, that's heartbreak for Ferrari. After such a strong season, they crash right at the end, right at the most important time of the season. Oh man, oh man, oh man. So there you have it, everyone. That's going to do it for this final episode of the first season of this F125 Wheel of Chaos career mode. I mean, it's been such a roller coaster of a season, as I've mentioned a couple times already. Those wins, and we've had big wins, we've had big losses, but overall I'm really happy with how this series has started so far throughout this first season, and I hope that next year we can make a big jump as a team and possibly have less failures when it comes to constructing new parts and the pit stops and even the racing, and hopefully next year we can have 2 drivers that can have a good mix of results. And I mean, a lot of the times, whichever driver I controlled, on the flip side, that driver was finishing in the bottom 5, and like this race. And I hope that next time around we're able to change that, and hopefully next year we could make a big jump as a team. But going forward, I would like to at least try this. But going forward, I will be doing one more season of this, unless we hear about the F126 expansion coming at some point, or is expected to. But considering we haven't heard much yet, I'm going to expect it's still going to be a while. So for right now, I'm happy and I'm excited just to keep going with this as we play on here. So I will definitely be doing one more season of this. So I hope that you guys can continue watching and keep watching heading into next season, because I hope and I want to promise that it's going to be a lot better than this one. So that's going to do it, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the Zuck TV YouTube channel if you have not yet. And also ring that bell to be notified of when I post the next F125 Wheel of Chaos career mode. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. I'll see you guys all in the off season. Peace.